friend. How are you?
Hello, hello. Nice to see you.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been ages since I've talked to you, and it's because you were gone and I was busy, and like I told you, I was gonna let you have a vacation. So I even went to Chrissy for help. I was like, Chrissy, take a look at this chart. Tell me what you think. Where normally I would have went to you, like no problem, but I distinctly only went to Chrissy. Aren't you happy? Aren't you proud of me?
I am. I would have looked at charts though. That's fine.
I know, but you're supposed to tell me how much you missed me. That's what I need here. I'm trying to get. Oh, look at my nails. I got them done.
Very pretty. Are you making it match the sweater?
No, but yes. Actually, I went to go get my normal red color, and I was wearing that pink sweatshirt that I wear all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Do you have a color that matches this? And that's what this is. So yes, I guess so. Unplanned.
I just thought like, oh, that's so smart. Marley's so smart.
It looks
She's
really
like,
good.
my whole sweater is going to be in this color. I might as well knit with it, and then the whole time I can check.
That is such a good idea. Maybe subconsciously I was thinking that.
Yeah. You were like, I am such a brilliant designer. I know that while I'm working on this, I can check the whole way.
That's what it is.
I don't have anything on my nails. I took them all off for my video.
I know. I was so excited when I walked in. She was just like, oh, Marley, it's been a while. And I'm like, I said, I'm trying to get in here. I promise I'm trying to get in here. Yeah. Anyways, I know that you had a mini vacation. I go on vacation next week and the week after. Like it's like 2 weeks here where
you got 2 vacations.
I know.
And like one's like a real vacation, the other one's a working one. So
exactly. So it'll be nice though. So that kind of leads us to what we're going to learn today with the Lunch and Learn. We're going to do a wine cozy.
Yeah.
And
going to wine country.
A wine country. I'm going to wine country. I'm going to Napa. And it's for work. So I know I have friends out there that want to see me and stuff. I can't go see anybody because I'm there for John's work. So I kind of have to stay focused on that. But we're going to today.
Trophy wife. She goes along and be like, look at my wife. Go talk to her. Isn't she wonderful?
That's what he does.
But that's what I'm convinced that half of the business is just because you're so articulate and like wonderful. And they're like, oh, that John man, he scored a winner.
That's what
it is. Him.
So I had 2 track meets to go to on Saturday. So we went to the indoor state with Katie. And then as soon as she was done with shot put, we hauled butt to Terre Haute, where Indiana State University is. And we got there, we were able to watch all of the events, right?
Yeah.
So here's what's funny. I'm standing not next to, but near the hammer cage to watch Josiah and Caden throw. And one of their teammates walks up, who's hilarious. His name is Brevin. He's a former Amish kid. Like his whole family left the Amish community. So now like he's fascinating, right? I love him. He's so kind. So all these things, right? So he walks over, he goes, oh, wow, this is a better view. And I'm like, thank you. I've been working on it. He was like, I was like, hey, you walked right into that one. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, here's something else is funny. So yesterday I went with John again for a work thing to the Elite 8 basketball game. And we got there right as you could enter. And so there were no lines at the concessions. I'm like, hey, they have cheese curds over there. Can we get, and he was like, sure. So we go over, I get the cheese curds and he puts his card in to pay. And then it beeps, so he takes it out, and the lady goes, oh, you pulled it out too soon. And I said, if he had $1 every time all the women were dying. The man behind the counter was like, huh? And I'm like, of course he doesn't understand. Right. So I thought I was on a roll. I was hilarious. I'm just saying. I'm a funny person. If you don't believe
every funny person.
Believe me, I'm a very funny person. I chipped a nail a little bit and it's bothering me. So I'm gonna just
no worries.
File that down real quick. All right. Anyways, so that was my weekend. I had a very crazy time with track. Nice time, and I love it. The boys did very well, which was nice. And they just keep trudging on.
That's fantastic.
I'm also number 2 in my March Madness bracket with that we're doing with the Fetches, Jordan and Taylor's family. And so I'm number 2. You know what my team name is? Never Michigan. I will be so happy if Never Michigan wins. I will be Yes.
It's so funny as like somebody who does not care to like like it's such a foreign concept. Be like, I just don't like them, and you're like, but why? I don't know. I just don't like them.
I have a reason why. I know why I don't like them. I know they're jerks. They're jerks. You know who else are jerks? Just as a side note, this is based on observation, okay? Because I've been to 2 March Madness games with the University of Kentucky there. Their fans are rabid. And both times I've seen them when their teams have lost, and they are evil. So I purposely wore University of Kentucky colors to the game on Friday night, so that way if they won or lost, I wasn't going to get in trouble. Like I wasn't going to be the other team, right? I'm serious. Like they're not nice. They're not nice at all.
It's just like from a non-sports person, like it's so funny to me because University of Michigan, we're pushing Eliana to like look at.
It's a good school.
It's an excellent
school.
And so I look at schools very differently.
Yeah.
But it's very funny because her looking at schools, she 100% does not want a school with rabid fans. So she's like, all Southern schools are dead to her.
Yeah.
She's like, anyone that is like crazy, I don't want to go to your school. And I was like, oh, like it's just a funny, like, funny way of thinking about things.
Yeah, Michigan, it's a very, very good school. Absolutely very good school. If any of my boys went and played sports there, I would absolutely cheer them on. But until that happens, never Michigan. So for the March Madness, just so y'all, we're rooting for Auburn. That's who I have winning the whole thing. Just saying, go Auburn. So, all right, that's it.
Great. Wonderful.
I know. I knew you was a burning question in your heart of who was in my bracket. I know this.
Okay, so my weekend, very, very different than
Not very. You were still in sports.
I was for one of them, but for the other one, we're college touring. We're touring, right. And so we went to Penn and to Princeton. So like we're going to these like fancy schools.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Penn Stater, so like great school, fantastic school, but not fancy. And I'm like, I basically I'm like, all right, our missions, every school we go to, where do you get a really good cup of coffee? Where can you get something delicious to eat?
Nice.
I have like the most random, where's a great bookstore nearby? Like, because like I feel like with campuses, like with kids, I'm like, you're gonna get a good degree, but like, do you like the stuff?
Right.
I mean, like all the stuff, all the other stuff.
Right.
And of course, like we don't want her to go to an Ivy, and that's the only thing she wants to look at. So we're trying to like, you don't want to go here. It's awful. It's not charming. It's all
it's dog. Like one of the prettiest campuses I've ever been on is Harvard. It's beautiful. Although I will tell you, the most beautiful campus I've ever been on is the University of Colorado. It is hands down gorgeous.
It is. It's pretty in a very different way.
Yeah.
It's a very different kind of pretty. Yep. Princeton was stunning.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. It was stunning. No notes.
Yeah.
I told Ellie no notes, but you can't go here.
So is she going to check out like Dartmouth? I think they're Ivy.
I don't know where we're going next. I'm kind of wiggling our way of like what like sparks her. She wants to do anthropology. So it's a very, very different than her mama who did structural engineering. So I'm like, I know engineering schools really well, and I can give you like the rundown, boom, boom, boom. And so I'm like, I don't know where people go, where you're going to go for 12 years. And, so it's a very different way. But I will say, so have you had, it comes from a French bakery and it's called a maman. It's mom, it's mother in French. Mm-hmm. Have you had one of them?
No.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just saying, wherever you are, because Napa seems like the place that they would have like fancy food.
Yeah. San Francisco specifically.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a giant circle, right? And it's like it has like the flaky pastry like a croissant would have, like anything that would have like multiple layers, right?
You're flirting with me now. Okay.
Now it's a circle like a cinnamon roll.
Okay.
And so it has like all of a cinnamon roll type of flavors, but it flakes off like a croissant. Holy gamoly. I was like, and we don't have those, and I need those.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, like that very, obviously you have to be really skilled, because all I know is when you're doing those layers, you're constantly stretching and stretching.
Yes.
That is hard to do to begin with. Like, just to begin with. So then, like, obviously they're like brushing in between and then rolling it up. And so then you unroll it like you would a cinnamon roll.
So Cindy says at Starbucks, they used to have something called a morning bun that was like that. And Karen, it's so funny that you say that she pronounced the name of that pastry correct, because I was like, oh, it's a croissant. She said croissant. I love it when I go to Epcot and I'm like, I want the croissant with cheese inside. There's croissant.
No.
Croissant et fromage. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Listen, there's some things I'm good at. There's some things I'm not. But I just know I'm gonna put it in.
It's so good. Oh,
there's very few things that I don't enjoy eating. So,
totally
holy moly.
That sounds good. So part of our plan when we go to Napa, we're flying into San Francisco and we're going to go have lunch at Boudin's Bakery, where it's the sourdough bakery, and they have a restaurant there, and it's delicious. Like, you can get lobster bisque in a sourdough bowl. I mean, come on, this is like heaven. It is so freaking good. But they make
what's a sourdough bowl?
It's a sourdough bread.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you take the middle out and you fill it with, oh, it's so good. But they make macaroons there that are, I mean, they're called haystacks. They're
when you get a good one, man. Oh boy.
It is so good. So
haystack is different, right?
I don't know. The haystack one is what we get. It's a haystack, whatever it is, like a bunch of coconut, and it's dipped in chocolate. It's so good.
Yeah, I thought they were slightly
so good. So when I used to go out there to Creative Bug every month, I would always go and get those and bring them home to John. Like, John would look forward to that. So instantly, when he was like, "We're flying into San Francisco. Do you think we could go get? You think we could go to Haystack?" I'm like, "I bet we could. Like, let's go." So we're gonna do that for sure, because that's happening.
Well, that was the only one thing that Mark wanted to do while we were in Philly, is get the best soft pretzels.
All right. So
what else were you gonna do?
You know what I mean. Are you from Michigan, Cindy? I'm just joking. Just joking. Totally joking. Yeah, like, just the food everywhere is, I mean, literally when we're in Napa, we're going to all these wineries, and like everything's planned. It's like winery food. Like, it's crazy. Anyways, I'm very excited. I've never been. It should be a good time. I don't plan on drinking too much. Like, I'll probably be sipping around. I just can't drink that much anymore lately. I just
I don't know. To our age, man.
And with my new medicine, it's just not
nothing.
It hits differently.
It does. It's just like, yeah.
So I'll go. I mean, I like the taste of wine, so I don't mind like having a sip or two at places, but I'm not. I say that now. If I get lit, I'll let you guys know. Be like, hey, let's do a podcast. Don't know. So yeah, but in good news, I have plotted out my chart for Tournament of Stitches. I spent all weekend on it, switching and swatching everything, and I switched some colors out. So those of you who watched the color one, I'm gonna let you know I took out my dark orange. You'll know all this when I do this whole thing. I took out my dark orange. I added a green instead of the dark orange, and then I added electric blue. So now I definitely have rainbow, but they look really good together. I also took out the light purple, and I put in frosting. I have 10 colors now instead of 9. And then I also have Lady Slipper in there. I know. Guys, this is what happened though. I started making the chart and the orange didn't play. The darker orange, it looked like a sore thumb in there. It was not good. And it didn't matter if I just put it in little places. It was like, wow, it's orange. And I'm like, I can't do this. But I have that all planned out. Here's my question, Robin.
Yeah.
am I doing the same chart for the knit and crochet, or should I change one knit and one crochet? I feel like I should do the same chart.
I would do the same. I would do the same chart, but obviously,
different
the crocheters are going to have a lot less repeats.
Yeah. Yeah, they might not even have all, because this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 repeats, 10 repeats, 11 repeats, 11 sections. So it might be they only get through 4 or 5,
right?
Which is fine.
It's just going to be a different.
It'll just look a little different. Yeah, but it's very pretty. No, I can't show you, Karen. I show you all the colors. I can show you the colors. I can't show you the whatchamacallit.
Not the chart yet. That's the secret.
Because I've already gotten started on the collar. Look, my collar's almost done. All right, so these are my colors.
And the bottom dark one, that's like a dark green, right?
That one? Wait, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hold on. Gosh darn it. No, that's the purple. That's the dark purple.
I couldn't tell what color that was.
Yeah, it's the dark purple.
Oh my gosh.
It's the dark purple.
Oh, okay.
Purple. Here, hold on. See?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you got the pink, that's the main, right? You got the purples, we got lady slipper, and then I guess come out. Sorry, guys. My desk is what it looks like. All right, so we got purples. I'm gonna put this over here by the pink. And then if you were to do greens, these would be my greens. These are my blues. And then I have this orange. So just the conch. I kept the conch color because I love it.
Flash of that. Yep.
And then the nutmeg heather. I have taken this out. I've taken it out and went with 9. And then I switched it and went here with 9. And then I like it with all of these. So it's 10. So you could go with 9. You could mess around with it. But I did 10. So those are all the colors I have in my chart. So unless something looks funny as I'm knitting, that's what I'm working with for the knitters. Crocheters won't have all these colors. Crocheters will be different.
It'll be different. It'll be less.
But that's good, right?
Yeah.
You notice something? It's a freaking rainbow. It's a freaking rainbow. Remember I said I was trying to get away from rainbow? Look, it's a rainbow.
Yep.
It's a rainbow. I just don't have yellow.
You just don't have yellow. That's okay.
Not going to lie. I'm going to love it. You know I'm going to love it. And I could have used any of these colors as a main color. John's like, why are you going with that really bright pink? And I'm like, because I bought 12 of them and I'm using them. He was like, okay. So
that's really funny.
Yeah. Anyways, there's my colors. So this is the one I took out and I replaced with lady slipper. You can see it still would work. This made it look better.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you're working on the chart and stuff.
So then I took out this one too. I had thrown in there instead of the green. And that's when I switched those.
Well, it all depends on what stripe you're on too.
Yeah. So what's really great, these colors look really great together. So you'll see a lot of those. These look really good together. So you'll see a lot of those. I've put those together and the pink goes all over I don't know. It works really well. Anyways, so there you go. Wrong one. So when it's time, you'll see. But I have written a blog post talking about color changes for Tournament of Stitches. And if you go and look at that, I've put a link in the video description box. You will notice that there's a form that you can sign up so that way you are the first to find out when it's available for purchase or when the details are released.
I know a lot of people are super excited by yarn. Just wait until Marley knits a bit. Because again, you saw it changed. It changed from when we were just guessing.
Yeah.
We knew it would. Come on. We knew it would last week when she did the charts. And now that the charts are done, it might change again when she's going through the colors in real time.
Yeah. So I'm trying. I'm working real hard. But if you want to find out, go put your name on the form because I will be sure to email that out immediately. And that's what everybody's going to have to fill that out. Even when the information comes out, I'm going to make people sign up in order to get the supply list.
Well, that way we make sure that we have your email for.
Yeah.
You can make sure you get your update.
Yeah. And if you've unsubscribed from the Marley Bird email before, just please resubscribe because that's an issue. I can't send you stuff. All right. So that's the Tournament of Stitches. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
We didn't have any questions today? We're gonna try and
revamp, but I can show everybody what I was working on.
Good call.
I'm not the only one, because while she's doing that, I'm doing this. I'm doing motifs. So my course is all about motifs, and this is going to be a sweater. I know it doesn't look like anything right now, and the colors look really weird on my screen.
What yarn is that?
That's, I don't know. I don't have it right next to me. It's the the provincial tweed.
Provincial tweed.
Wait, I'm showing you the wrong side.
Is that yours or is that mine? Because you can't wear provincial tweed.
Well, it's mine because I made it in my color. These are not your colors.
They are not my colors. No,
they're not your colors. And so like the course is going to have, it has 12 different motifs, and then it has layouts for sweaters and pullovers and cardigans and blankets and purses and shawls and everything you could make with it. So it's like you can mix and match whatever you want, and then like different ways of joining and stuff. So like that's going to be like one of the sample projects. I've been working on that since before I moved.
Yes, it's been a hot minute. I'm impressed. All right, so I'm ready to jump in. So let's talk about today's piece. So this here, you guys, this is a chart that you could no, you couldn't. It's a fair out chart. I was going to say you could try and do mosaic, but it would be really difficult to do mosaic. It doesn't flow right because you couldn't pull up a color from the next. Anyways, it's a Colorwork chart, but we can use this for knitting, for colorwork, stranded colorwork, or crochet with split single crochet, or if we wanted to do back loop only single crochet, like there's options of things we could do. Tapestry crochet. And so we're going to use it for split single crochet today, because when I do the swancho, or the poncho swancho, whatever we're going to make it, when I do it, of course, I will show you how to do split single crochet in those videos as well. But I kind of want to get you an idea of this is what we're going to do, and just kind of talk a little bit about the things that I think about when I'm doing split single crochet. So this isn't an actual pattern. We're making it into a pattern today. I essentially I'm taking those, I think it's 8 stitches, and I'm turning it. Let me confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches. And I did 3 repeats of it, and I'm going to turn this into a wine cozy. So that's what we're going to do. You guys cool with that? So this chart is available in the link that I posted in the video description box. Let me see if I can go find it again. Of course, it's going to hide from me. So if you just give me a second. I have too many things open, I swear. Okay, this page says it's going to be knit. Okay, come on. There it is. There it is. All right, copy. And I'm going to put it into the live chat as well so you guys can see. But this that I'm giving you it is a blog post for 3 knit wine cozies. This is the first one that's called the One at a Time wine cozy. And so you can use this chart to follow along with what we're doing. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, I went to print this, and apparently my daughter has used all my printer ink, so I can't print anything. Which is funny because I came home last night from the game and the house smelled really good. She's like, oh, I tried a new recipe. And I noticed there were papers on the counter that she had printed. And I was like, oh, she printed something. So then I went to print today and there's no ink. It says cartridges must be replaced. Like I can't do anything. And I'm like, okay, thanks for telling me, Alora. It's like when you use the last bit of milk and you've made yourself a cereal, like the cereal's poured in the bowl and you're ready to just pour the milk, but there's no milk and nobody's told you that there's no milk. That's where I am.
But does your printer cartridges tell you when they're running out? Mine
probably does. Yeah, I have no idea.
Mine never does until I go to print, and then it doesn't work anymore.
I change them so rarely. Like I have to change my cartridges so rarely because I don't print very often, you know. But my daughter printed a lot, so there you go. I'm totally blaming her. But that's what we're going to do today.
So nice.
Totally blaming her. So let me see here if I can. I don't remember which one it is. Is it this one? Nope. Is it this one? Yeah. Nope. Is it this one?
This is the one.
This is the one we're doing. I like this one. All right, let me move my stuff out of the way here. Somebody said that when I was showing all the yarn, it was like an advertisement for We Crochet. Felt like it.
I mean, pretty much.
A lot of yarn.
They have so many colors.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are going to work on the one at a time wine cozy. We're going to change it into a crochet wine cozy. I am using the worsted wildflowers yarn from Hirschner's, which is convenient because this Lunch and Learn segment is sponsored by Hirschner's. Just so you guys know, if you are looking for a place that you can safely purchase yarn online and get it delivered direct to your door, Hirschner's has 150 years experience doing this. I highly recommend them. They have a lot of different yarns, not just Hirschner's yarns. They carry Red Heart, Karen, Bernat, Premier, Lion Brand. They have Willow yarn. I mean, they have a lot of different yarns you can choose from. So make sure you go check them out.
And Marley, look what Eva says.
Oh, Hirschner's has a 1 cent shipping on orders of over $35 until tomorrow. So that's amazing. I'm going to give you guys my affiliate link just so that you guys could use it. It does not charge you anything extra, but it does let Hirschner's know that I sent you there. And then I do make a little bit off of whatever you spend. It also lets them know that their advertising dollars have been well spent, that they know that, hey, Marley's doing her job essentially. And you heard about them from me. So that's always incredibly helpful. So let me send this. I'm going to put it in the chat. So honestly, you click it and you go to Hirschner's, and then whatever you buy, it gets tracked back to me. So whenever you're interested on doing anything like that, buying from Hirschner's or We Crochet or anybody that I usually have sponsors or affiliates with, just let me know and I'll send you an affiliate without any issues. But that's Hirschner's. That's who we're using. I think that's everything I got for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let me get all of this set.
And so the link of the wine cozies, like you can totally make this in knitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's like the whole point of our tournament of stitches this year is like how use the charts the same way for knitting and crocheting, like the same chart, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So if you want to see like a knit version, just go to the blog post. So this is how, if you just had the chart, what could you do?
Yeah.
If you haven't taken Camp Colorwork, there's so many things you can do with the same chart, but
so many
just one thing.
Yeah. All right. So all I've done here is, like I told you, it's an 8-stitch repeat. And so I need to make sure I pull that up for myself so I can look at it. It's an 8-stitch repeat. So I did chains. I didn't do foundation chains. I just did basic chains. And I think I have 32. So maybe I did 4 repeats. So I did 32. So I have 4 repeats. That looks like it's pretty good to get around a bottle of wine. That's my hope. And so after that, I did.
It looks good as a coffee cozy as well.
Yeah, that too. I did 1 round of single crochets. And the biggest thing is when you're doing that first round, you want to make sure you're not making your single crochets too tight, because the second round is where I went in to the center of the single crochet I made, and I made my split single crochet. And that's what we're going to continue doing here. So I've joined with an invisible join. I will chain 1, and let's do an invisible or a split single crochet just so I can show you how.
Yeah.
Right here, this is my single crochet from my previous row. You see how it looks like it has 2 legs? There's a leg there and a leg right here. It's like a V. I want to take my hook and I'm going to stick it right in the middle of that V, straight back to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now here's the kicker. This first loop that you pull up, you want to extend it up a little bit more than you normally do. You know how I'm always telling you keep your loops the size of your hook? Not when we're doing this. Okay. I want it to pull up a little bit more and then finish, because I want that to be a little bit looser. So that way, the next time I come around to work into that one, I can get into it. If they're too tight, you will know quickly. It becomes really difficult to get into. So you'll see here, I'm pull it up. I try and keep them consistent. You could use a bigger hook if you wanted to. I prefer to use the H or the I, and then I just make sure I come up and I don't know, I just kind of gauge it with it. I eyeball it, I guess. Yeah. And I can tell if I'm making them too tight, and I'm just going into the middle of each one.
If you're a super, super tight crocheter, instead think about that you're doing extended, like an extended stitch, like you're doing, instead of being like, oh, I have to be looser in my tension, no one can just magically be looser in their tension.
Right.
So like, it's like those tight crocheters, we have to like trick our brain and be like, we're doing an extended stitch.
Yeah.
This is how I trick my brain because I'm a tight crocheter.
So I pull up that little bit of extra. So we are not going in between the stitches. Like normally you would go right here, right? We'd go underneath these two legs of the stitch, but we're going into like where this is the post, going between those two. I'm just pulling it up. And then I'm making sure that as I pull it up, I don't tighten. If I tighten there, see how it tightens everything up? I don't want that. I need to make sure that it remains the size I need it to be. There we go. Pull that through. And then carry on. So you want to make sure you're not making things too tight. That is like the detriment of a split single crochet is if you make them too tight and make them too difficult to get into. It's hell. You don't want to do it. It sucks so bad.
Well, and you'll be able to tell because it'll get so tight.
Yeah.
It won't be enjoyable. And obviously, wine cozy or a coffee cozy, if you just make it short, perfect thing to test. And especially if you're going to join Marley on the Tournament of Stitches, you don't want to get and do your whole yoke and be like, oh,
yeah.
You want to test your tension on something tiny. So this is like the perfect project to kind of test, to like jump into it.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Especially like when we're, go ahead.
All I was going to say is like a coffee cozy though, you would want it to be really tight because you don't want it to be hot.
Yeah.
But just ignore that part. We're trying to do nice and loose tension.
So invisible join, if you don't know, you kind of extend that out, come under from behind, go underneath the two loops of the top of your first stitch, put that the free loop back on your hook and then pull it through and give it a tug. So you get a nice little join there. Okay.
And the invisible join, lovely. They work so well for so many stitches in crochet.
Now, a couple things about split single crochet. They're going to look like they slant. It is the nature of what it is. Can you see how they look like they're already starting to slant? It's the nature of crochet, you guys. You can kind of fuss with them a little bit and feel like they're going to be a little bit straight. Like that will work a little, but naturally it's going to slant. It's going to. It's just, that's just the way it is, right? Like we talked about, they're very, I don't have a lot of give. Can you see that?
They're dense. It's very dense. This is not a stretchy fabric.
And this is only with one color so far, right? We're not doing two colors here. We're getting ready to do two colors.
So they may appear to look like ribbing or stockinette, but they do not behave like that.
Right. So you have to be very cautious of it. So like even with, I played around with the start of a yoke for the crochet. Like I did these. They're a little bit looser, but this is a wool too. This is an acrylic. This is a wool. But you can see they're very soft. Like I made sure I didn't make them super duper tight. What else was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Maybe that's the first thing I was going to say. I don't know. All right. So
you have this, Deborah, 100%. I'm so with you. Read this.
And if you hate this stitch on your first try, wait a couple days and try again. But watch Marley again when you do it again. I detested this stitch for the first time, and it's much more enjoyable now. Deborah, so much same. The first time I tried this, I saw somebody else do. I was like, what is that? I was like, I'm going to go do this. And I did it. And it was so tight. I'm like, why would anybody want to do this? I'm like, why am I going to do this? I can knit. I don't need a fabric that looks like knit. I can knit. And then I was like, well, you know what? I'll try it again, but maybe I'll make the single crochets a little looser. And then I tried it again. I was like, ooh, I like this. And so it became something that I really liked. And I mean, my friend Brianna uses this stitch a lot, and it's beautiful. And I've used it on different things now. And now I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this stitch as it transitions from a ribbing and stuff. Like, I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. I laughed. I'm like, put it down for a couple days and try again. I was like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I did.
All right, so let's look at this again. So we're going to start down at the bottom where it's number 1 down on the right side. So we're going to start off. I'm going to make it where, do I want the blue or the green to be my hash marks? What do you guys think? It could be either one. Like I think the blue should be the white.
I was going to say the exact opposite.
Of course you were. Of course you were. All right, so I'll do the opposite. So then
you do
red.
make me happy, but I was like,
all right, red is going to be blue in this scenario. White is going to be green. So as I'm reading from right to left, ignore the fact that I have numbers over here on this side. Okay, because we're doing this in the round, so they will all be from right to left. I'll eventually remake a chart, you guys. We're going to read from right to left all the way around, and then we'll jump up to row 2, right to left all the way around. Row 3, right to left all the way around. Does that make sense? You guys with me? All right, so that's not what I want. It's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Spotlight layout. That's what it's called. Shift F4. Well, I'll never remember that. It's called the spotlight layout. All right. So if red is blue, that means my very first stitch here. So I did my invisible join. My very first stitch here is going to be blue. And I will be using both colors along the row. Now I have to decide if I want to have the color I'm not using trapped in between like the color that I'm using, or do I want it to float behind? Man,
so I think the best thing for you to do is float it first, and then like do a couple rows in floating, and then do like a row in trapping, and just see what you like better.
All right. So my first is blue, right? So I'm going to do my blue and come up, but my next stitch is green, so I have to finish this stitch with green. So I'm going to drop my blue, pick up my green, make sure that stays extended, and finish. Okay, so there's my single crochet. Now I have a green. Pull up, but my next one is blue. So drop my green, finish with my blue. You guys see that? Okay, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 of them. And this one, I'm going to just have them float. So I'm not trapping my blue or my green. I'm going to hang them out over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But the next one's going to be green. So I'm going to take my green from way over here, pull it across. And I want to make sure I'm not pulling it too tight so that it's making anything pucker. I pull it across. And I finish with my green.
And what you guys have to understand is Marley's the float queen. She's really good at it.
Oh, thank you.
If it takes a little while, that's why like these little coffee cues are great to like practice on, of like getting that tension right of floating. It just takes time. It just takes time.
Did you notice what I did there? I put the green in an actual like a stitch. Yeah, I was not even thinking. All right, so put it here. The float queen, you're funny. Usually I don't float across in crochet. I trap them. I'm a trapper. I'm a trapper, like a trapper keeper.
They're equally valid.
They are. Yeah. Yep. And then green. And then back to blue. So if you guys notice, when I got to the end of my first repeat, it was that green one. And then I went back to stitch number 1, which was blue. There's green. Now I'm doing 5 blues. Make sure I'm not trapping. Wait, did I just have a brain fart? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but I need to finish that one with green.
So what she's just doing is pretty much what I do 100% of the time. I don't ever remember that like, oh, the next one is blah, blah, blah. And so I, should wait until I got 2 loops left on my hook. I finish it and then go, oh, it's finished. And then just out, take it out and then change my color because I don't think ahead. There's no forethought going on. It doesn't matter.
No, either both ways work.
You outed it out and then you go back. But you definitely want to make sure you're changing your color when you got 2 loops left on your hook when you're doing the extended single crochet, because otherwise you're going to get a bar of color over a different stitch, and you'll see that little, even though it'll be really subtle, you'll see it and your eye won't see the pattern.
Yep. And that's because we have those little spaces between here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see how easy it is for me to get into those single crochets because I made them like as loose as I did. How do I keep the other color from showing in the front? Pamela says. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to go for that?
So when you are floating the way she's doing, you'll never see the other color in the, because it's hanging out in the back.
So it's behind everything.
Yeah, when you're doing tapestry, when you're laying it down and you're going over it,
you're going to see color.
Sometimes a little color pops through.
It's the nature of it.
It is the nature of it. I do play with how I'm laying it. I do lay it in the back.
I try and make it to where the float is on the wrong side of the work as much as I can. If I'm doing the tapestry where I'm crocheting over it, whether I'm on the front or the back, I just try and make it so that it's going to be there. And then when I put that color down, I make sure it's like, it's forcefully to that, whatever side that is, where I need to pick it up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, when you get to it, you can show the way that you switch the colors. Yeah. When you are constantly changing your colors, you will get tangled up if you're always picking up your yarn, your strands the same way. Yeah. So you can either be like, it's going to be tangled, I will untangle it at the end of the round. Or you can think every time and pick them up so they uncross. So one will cross, and then the next time you pick it up, you'll uncross it. Yeah. But once again, I do not have forethought. I do not do that.
And you know what? That makes more of a difference in knitting. So those of you who are knitters, you're like, well, wait a minute. You're supposed to always have one on top, one on the bottom to keep it consistent, this, that, and the other. Yeah, absolutely. Like in knitting, it's a different beast. With this one, you're okay to have, like right now, this time I pulled it from the bottom of the blue instead of at the top of the blue, just because why not,
Yeah.
And then I'll finish with my green here. By the way, that's what I was going to say. The pointy tip on the Susan Bates, like it really helps you stab into the stitch. So if you're a boy type of person, like that's not a bad thing, but I will tell you, if you can get a crochet hook with a more pointy tip, it helps.
Yeah, it does. Like, I mean, I use, put on my shirt, I use Clovers. They have a very pointy head too.
Yeah. Like I used to be a boy girl. That sounded funny. I used to be a boy fan. Not that I'm not a fan anymore, but when I started working with yarn or Red Heart, Susan Bates was owned by Red Heart. So I had to use Susan Bates hooks. And so I had to change it over, and I realized I stitch slightly different with a Susan Bates hook than I do with a boy hook. Yeah. And that's what makes the difference. Like so many people are like, oh, I just can't use one or the other. What happened? Like people are like, oh, I can't use that because of XYZ, right? Yeah. When in reality, it's just that
it's the hook. It's literally the hook.
It's you'll find that you wrap your hook differently with the boy versus
it's 100%. That was my problem on Knit and Crochet now. It was constantly the hooks. And so we would always be backstage practicing because it wasn't, like I am very much a Clover or a Tulip girl. And because it's not them, it definitely changes your flow.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So
they're all very pointy, if you're wondering. And so is the dots hooks.
Okay. All right. So now we are on round 2. I've got to the end and I did my invisible join and I'm on round 2. So again, ignore that the numbers are over here. They would be over here on the right side. we're going to start with our white, which for me is the green. So I'll start off and I'll put a green into that blue, right? And then I'm going to do 2 blues, green, blue, blue, right? There's going to be a lot of color changes through this one.
Yep.
All right. Now, what did I say that was? It was
green. You're going to do 1 green, 2 blues.
I'm looking spotlight layout. That's what it is. Look at me. Spotlight layout. That's the one that looks like this. Okay. So start with the green. So I'm going to come here, go into the green. Come up. The next one's a blue, right? I don't have my chart up.
Next one's the blue.
So do my blue.
You got 2 blues.
Okay. I got to just get my chart in front of me. I don't know what I did with it.
It's okay.
There it is. Okay. So 2 blues. So there's 1 and then 2. Next one's a green.
That's correct. Green, blue, green.
Green. Blue. Green. And then 2 blue.
I feel very like powerful when I do color work because you're like managing lots of things. You're like, look at me. I'm so good. I can manage all these different things.
That's how I feel with double pointed needles.
Yeah, you're like, look at me.
I feel like I am the queen of knitting.
Create. Yeah.
Am I doing this? Yeah. And then 2 blues.
And then a green.
And then a green. So I'm back at the start of my repeat.
The green is the start of your, yeah.
So that's where I am. You guys see that? All right. So we're going to keep going here. So do my green.
So you got a green, 2 blues.
2 blues.
So to answer your question, Melinda, yes. Both Marley and I have several different hooks, not just for their size, but we have different brands. And it's especially true in Tunisian. I very much play with the material.
Because that affects things too. The material of the hook with the material of your fiber of your yarn, like it affects the way it flows. Same in knitting, you know.
Oh, and yeah, so it doesn't matter. We're saying hooks because we're doing crochet.
Yeah.
But yes, Marley has a whole stack, and so do I. My whole you can't see it, but like everything here is just bins full of different brands and different sizes because I will play with the yarn of which one is better. Yeah. Beaker, you are not wrong. That is the whole thing that we're doing of using a knitting chart for crochet. That's all what Tournament Stitches is about. It's about color charts and what you can do with them in crochet and knitting and them being the same chart.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
Yep. I will remake this chart so that the numbers are all on the same side.
That's how like crochet charts would have them because we're going in the round.
It just makes it easier because you can use the numbers as a signal of, oh, this is where you need to make sure you start reading from. All right. So I want to point this out. So you remember I had that really long float right there?
Yes.
So I want to make sure I'm not, look, I almost just went underneath it. So I just want to make sure I'm on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be careful.
And why Marley's doing it is if she went under it, it would pull it tight.
Exactly.
And that would just tighten it up. And then you're like, wait, but I made sure that those floats were loose.
Right.
But you just tightened them.
Yeah. So
it's
you don't want to do that.
But it's definitely something to try.
Yeah. And you might think to yourself, oh, I'll just trap this right here and I'll just make it so it's not going to be a problem. And then you have a problem. I feel like, and then 1, 2, am I right? Am I off? I feel like I got off.
Okay. Go to you did. Okay,
let's go to the start.
Okay. It's green, blue, blue, green, blue, green, blue, blue. You're good. Done. Then green, blue, blue.
All right.
Oh, you went too far.
Yeah. So green, blue, blue, green, blue, green, blue,
and blue, blue. Yep.
Green, blue, green. So now I'm 2 blues.
No. So yeah. So that green that you put in should be a blue.
2 blues. I'm like, I am off here. Something's off. Let me get that one out too.
That's what we're hoping, Jeannie. We are definitely hoping that everybody is going to be super talented and do lots of things.
I mean, if you guys know me at all, you'll know that I try my best to not use terminology or anything that's outside of what a standard is, because I do not want all of you to only be able to follow my patterns. I do not want it to be like, oh, I can only ever watch a Marley Bird video because she explains everything to me and I don't have to go look at a pattern. Like I don't want that, because that's a disservice to you, you guys. That's like somebody always reading a book to you and you never go and read a book. Come on. Like you have to be able to read. And I want you, all of you, to become better knitters and crocheters so that you can go out and venture and try other people's patterns, because all of us designers, we're all so unique and different in what we do and how we do things. And there's just so much joy out there. And so if I were to use different terminology for stitches and stuff than what is a standard, you would come across another pattern and be like, well, what the heck is this? And it might be that you actually know what it is. I just called it something else, but I don't want that. I don't want you to ever fall prey to that. And I made that decision years ago.
Yeah, we never try to like say that we make up a stitch.
Yeah.
We try, especially like in our special stitches section where we call out stitches, we try to list the other names too.
Yeah.
Just to make it a little easier so you can see if you've heard it before.
Yeah. Here we go. But that's also why a lot of times when we're teaching stuff, you'll notice that we will, as people have pointed out, I will talk more than normal because I'm explaining so many different things. Like I'll call something a shell, and then I'll make a point of saying not all shells are like this. Make sure you look at the abbreviations or your special stitches of your pattern. Look, I almost did the float again. And that's because true beginners, they might be like, oh, so this is a shell, and they'll come across the pattern without looking at the special stitches, or maybe they're across a pattern that's a crappy pattern and doesn't have a special stitches section, and they're making an assumption that a shell is like whatever I told them to do, but it's really not. It's slightly different. So I feel like it's important you know these things. You know, it's little things that you learn along the way that you take for granted. But anyways, yeah. How did I get on that topic? I don't remember.
It just flowed through you.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Where your brain went while you were.
Can I just tell you how lovely it is to work with somebody who understands like my spicy brain? Because like just even today we were talking about all of this, and hold on, am I on two blues? And I probably talked about 5 other things in the course of trying to get this ready for today. And Robin was just right there with me. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I know this doesn't have any. She's like, nope, I understand. We got it. And like, she would make a note of it. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, future, we should do more of these for Jolly Holiday. Oh, and when we do Jolly Holiday, maybe we should bring back 24 Days of Cookies. And I mean, that's nowhere near what we're doing right now, right? Because then we're talking about the fact that Easter's right around the corner and I'm going to be at Disney next Monday. What should we do for Monday? Like, it's just all these things. Anyways, these are the things that I appreciate, the fact that my best friend gets me, because not everybody does.
Nope. I can follow the flow as long as it doesn't go too fast.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to leave that there for a second. Try and show everybody if I can get that to come out. Okay. You guys see? I think I did everything right. So the green will start becoming the hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
So where the 2 are side by side, that's where the hashtag is starting.
Yeah.
All right. Row 3.
So now do tapestry.
Okay. All right. So this is the one, when she says tapestry, that means I'm going to crochet over my float. So it's always like, I won't have the floats on the back part anymore. All right. So like, they won't be floating back there. They'll be encased in the stitch. Okay. So row 3, I'm going to do 3 blue, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 green, 2 blue. All right. Let's see here. Layout. Ha ha ha! Look at me go. I'm very proud of myself. Just saying. Everybody here is also proud of me. I know this. All right. So, gosh darn it, I lost it again. Every time I click over. Okay.
I can just tell you where you are.
You could. I just didn't want to make you have to do that. All right. So
3 blue.
Blue. Oh, you said Tapestry.
Crochet over.
Yep. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling my float up, right? I'm just going to kind of lay it here just so I can see it. And I'm going to put my blue in here, but I'm going to have my green, it's laying on my hook. And my blue is just going to go around it. All right. So it's in the back. So there's one. Same thing. Green is just laying on my hook. 2. Same thing. Green is laying on my hook. 3. I split my yarn. 3. Next one's going to be green. So I'm going to drop my blue and pick up my green. Finish my green. Now my blue is going to be the one I'm going to hold on to. So my blue is now laying on my hook. I pull the green up. Next one is going to be blue. So I got to switch colors. I'm going to switch them the opposite way so I'm not twisting. So my green laying back there. And the next one is green. So I'm going to pull it up. Finish that. Now here's the thing. I just did this on purpose because I had extended that too much. But when you have your float here, if you pull this tight, it's going to pull that stitch tight. And the next time you come around, it's going to be impossible to get into it. So you want to be very careful with your floats. You're not pulling them too tight because your float is not going to stretch. Same thing in knitting. Your floats don't stretch. Like there's no give there. So if you want to have any sort of give in your fabric, like your floats, you wanted to make sure they're not so tight you can't get into a stitch or you can't move your stitches, right? Green.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice with this, Marley is almost holding her yarn to the wrong side instead of like when Tapestry talks about it, they're talking about laying it on top of the top 2 loops. It's like on the top side of the work. Yeah. She's hanging it on the back so that it shows through as least as humanly possible.
Yeah, I don't put it like on top here. If you can see that, like if I did that, it's going to show. Yeah. So I pull it to the back and it's like behind it. So when I pull up, am I doing 2 blues? Is it 2 or 5?
I mean, it should be 5 in total.
All right. So it's 2 to finish. No, yeah, 2 to finish. So that would be the end of my repeat.
Yeah.
So now I keep going. So I'm back to the start of my repeat. So 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to change to green.
Yep. So again, doing this coffee cozy or wine cozy or whatever we're calling it, it's mainly just a little swatch to practice the stitches, and really the quote unquote technique is all on if you're floating or if you're working over your strands and getting a good tension for tournament of stitches. It's not necessarily to make the cozy or the wine bottle itself,
Yeah. And you have to remember too, like when we're doing tournament of stitches, like this is going to fit your body. So if it's too tight, like if you're doing your stitches really tight and you don't have any sort of give, like that's something I'm going to be really careful of. I want to make sure I have something that it's a little bit of a give as I'm doing the actual tournament of stitches, because this is going to fit like Kevlar on your body. I don't want that. Right.
No. So, and when she gets to tournament stitches, she's going to like, if you decide to float, she'll tell you, how many stitches you really want to float over, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
We get into more details like that in that event. And because even though there's more technique part to this, especially because you're making a sweater.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of like, if you want to practice, I would do a couple rows floating and then a couple of rows in tapestry working over it. Because you're going to get 2 different fabrics.
And even though you can do back loop single crochet for something like this, we do not recommend it for the Tournament of Stitches project. Specifically, I'm going to talk about that. It's not that I don't recommend it for other things. I use it all the time. But for the Tournament of Stitches project, because those stitches end up being bigger than what we're doing here and they stretch more. So it's going to throw off your gauge completely. So you're not going to want to change that out, even though it's something that we talk about. Oh, you could do this, you could do that. Not for this project. It will be split single crochet is what you're going to want to use. You will not want to use basic single crochets because it's going to look like a muddy mess. I mean, you could if you wanted to. I mean, there were a couple patterns I had to teach for Yarn Inspirations back in the day where it was they called it Fair Isle and it was single crochet and you didn't work through the back loop or split. It was just like single crochets. Yeah. I can't even begin to tell you how much I hated those projects. Like I was like, this is dog ugly. Don't do this. I have to teach you, but don't do this. This is ugly.
Right.
So yeah, if you're just like, I hate this stitch, I don't want to use it, then maybe Tournament of Stitches isn't for you this time. I feel like, no, I'm good. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also just to point out the yarn, I keep showing you that gray yarn. It's also a DK. So like when we do Tournament of Stitches for, I'm at the end of my round. Almost, right? Did I get off? No. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not. I don't think so. Yeah, no, am I off? I had to get off here.
I don't see another hashtag.
Right.
But is there only 3 hashtags?
I think I got off right there.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep going. We're going to ignore it.
Because it should have been green, blue, green.
Yeah. If this were the actual project, I would be ripping back to there.
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah. I mean, you could go in, you could kind of do like what would be called a duplicate stitch to fix it, but it's such a small little thing. We're just going to keep going. So I'm just going to do blue all the way the rest. No, I'm not. I'm just going to keep going. Just talking myself out of everything. And then I'm coming up to the end. How did I get off?
Like you just didn't change right now. Like you could pull it out right now. It's just right now that.
Are you sure? Because look, that's a hashtag there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe that was too close.
All right. So there's a hashtag and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, hashtag 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, hashtag 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then this should be hashtag here. So I just did that green too early. All right. So we'll do that. 1, 2, and then 1. Two, and then 3. And then the next one should be a green on a green, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this next one should be green on green. And then we have blue. I'll show you how I would fix it if I just wanted to do a duplicate stitch. And then green. Look, I made that green really small, so it's going to be tricky to get into. But that pointy part of my hook helped.
Yeah.
And then back to blue, and then 2 blue. All right. And then invisible join.
So when you were working, what did you feel more natural?
The tapestry. And I think that's due to just doing it so much.
Yeah.
When I knit, I float.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tuck things. But the tapestry is just more natural to me. More natural. Here, I'll show you how I would do if I were to fix it.
Yeah. This is super key because We all do
We
this.
all make mistakes.
Nobody wants to pull out. Doesn't matter if it's knitting or crocheting. It's a pain to pull it out, especially when it's so far down.
Like this too? So I would have to fix this one and make it blue, and this one here should be green. So it's just like with knitting. I'm going to come up underneath the bottom of this and make sure I have my tail. So I'm going to leave a tail, right? So I come up to the bottom, come up here. I'm going to float behind what I just did. You see that? Come up, make sure it lays on top of the blue. I'm going to come around, come down where I came out or came in. Voila.
I always think it's magic.
It does. So I love duplicate stitch. So I would then tuck in those ends, but this one now I have to do it with the blue. So the same sort of thing. It's harder when the color, like the color for whatever reason is so bright, it just can't hide it. Like that's a real pain in the rear.
Yeah.
You could go and do like a double duplicate stitch where you're just doing it through it twice if you wanted. Okay. Where is it? Right here. So this one, again, come up through the bottom. I'm going to just go underneath those two legs, right? To the top. And go out where you came in. Voila.
Magic.
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 Yo, bo, bo, it's magic.
I love it.
Yep. You guys get the feel? So when it comes to your sweater, right, you have to think to yourself, like, first off, it's not going to be super tight, right? But so you'll have floats, but they shouldn't be too bad. Like as far as your ring and stuff getting caught. But if that's something that really bothers you, then you definitely want to do tapestry. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want these to shine through, like I haven't messed with it yet in the DK weight or that DK. Yeah, DK weight. So I'll have to play around because it might end up be that I like this using the DK weight because it's looser. Like, I don't know. I'll have to play with it and I will tell you guys what my final results are. But in general, like you can't see my color changes, right? I can't see them. Can you guys see my colors? Don't mistake, like that's just the green underneath there as I change the color. It looks good. That's cute.
Yeah, and it's just something a little fun to play with. Knitting, same way, you could make a little wine cozy just to play with.
Yep.
You know, stranding, just doing a little something before tournament of stitches so that you feel a little bit more confident.
Right.
Or you don't have to do anything. Don't worry, Marley's going to walk you through everything, you know. So it's not like you need to do it. It was just something to get you going.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to show everybody they were asking about the crochet hooks. Like I have this thing. Like this is just one of my crochet hook holders. Like lots of different hooks in here. And I have like a lot of Susan Bates because I worked for Red Heart for almost 10 years. So I have a lot of Susan Bates. I have boy hooks that have the dusty, but the handles, because I've told you guys before, like my hands started cramping up. I also have like rosewood ones that have a very pointy tip that I will use those, especially if I'm using something that I want. Like I have to just really stab at. I like, these are Laurel Hill. They're very nice. I also have in my bin over there all the ones I got from Prim that are cool, and they have a nice big handle. What you will notice that I don't have, well, I have one, and I only have one because I know I don't like it. This brand, I'm not going to say it out loud. You know what brand I'm talking about? I can't hold it. As a pencil, my hand slides down like this the whole time, and I'm fighting it the whole time. And so I do not like this brand. And not them. I like them personally, but I just can't do it. Same thing with this. I love this brand, and they have like straight needles that I really like. Addie, I like that. And if you are a knife holder, this is great. These are great, right? You can do it as a pencil holder. You can see it fits there, and it's not terrible. Yeah, it's still just not my favorite. You would think it's nice and ergonomic. Yeah. It just doesn't, I don't go like this a lot. Like I use my fingers a lot, like my wrap finger. I don't know. So I've tried this one. Terrible. I could get by with this one. The other one, the green one, I'd never use it ever, ever, ever. Because it just does not work for me. But then I also have another bin of all the hairbrush, glue stick, and then hooks, all sorts of hooks. I got all sorts of things. But yeah, those are those. Okay.
Yeah, not meant to be tidy.
Yeah. They're all there. And I have some in the YouTube studio. They're in the drawers. So as I have to go through hooks, I go through. All right. Yeah. What are any questions?
Marley loves the big
handles.
Yeah. I hate them.
I love them. And it's like, I don't know. My hand does not get tired. I have a really big problem with this part of my hand hurting so bad when I crochet. And when I use these, it doesn't hurt as bad at all.
Yeah.
Like it still hurts every now and again, but it's nowhere near like if I have
I get worried when we talk about it.
I know.
Like talk about hands. So I put down my stuff and like start doing the stretches. I'm like
that one right there. I mean, when
I'm
like,
Marley.
Yeah, when I'm like on a crochet or knitting binge, like I'll hold my hands out to John like this, and I'm like, "Will you just push really hard right here?" And he will, and I'm like, "Oh," and he's like, "What do you do? What's this noise?"
It's so tight,
but it feels so good just to have like that release, you know. So when I found these, I got them because they were pretty, and then I started using them, and I realized how beneficial they were for me, and so. I have no association with this company at all. I do have an affiliate for them because they're on Etsy, but it's Touche Crochet, and I have been nothing but happy with their hooks. This one specifically, the one with like, it looks like, I won't say what this looks like in my head, but the ones that look like it has like little knobby things here, like it fits really nice. The ones that are, they're over in the other one. The ones that they're like flowed like this, and then it's just one, it's like a teardrop looking thing. Those remind me too much of that gray or that green hook that I showed you that I don't, my hand continually slips. But something about,
so there's something about having those segments.
Yeah. That it just helps. That's where my hand goes, and it feels so good. I can't even express how much that makes me so happy.
Yeah. You're doing a pencil hold.
Yep. I am a pencil hold. Which is funny to me because, I mean, I'm a knife grip for knitting. You're a knife grip. Every time I watch you,
That's how I hold it.
Yeah, that's a knife. Yeah. And I can do knife. Like when my hand starts to hurt when I'm pencil holding, I will change to knife grip. And of course, I have to changes how you crochet a little bit. But it changes the muscles you're using. So I'll change it up. But
I can't do pencil.
I don't know.
Cindy, I'm trying in my head right now, and I'm like,
yeah, just like a pencil. That's how my mom taught me. That's a question for you. I actually don't Tunisian crochet. I can. I can.
No,
I don't.
Tunisian has to be all the same length. It's all the same because we're putting all of our loops on. You can't have a part that's bulky. They all have to be the same. So it's all the same.
The Tunisian hook that I've used that I liked was the is it Two Sister Knits? What is it? It's
yeah.
Two Sister Knits.
Yeah.
I like those a lot.
I'm the Knitter's Pride.
Yeah. I don't
know. Check my day. I'll tell you something different the next day.
Yeah. I mean, just all depends. I mean, I have different needle sets over here. Like I was trying out different needles. Oh, they're all falling out. I have my Chagus here, and I have my Chagu Fortes over here that I was messing around with. And then I have some Addies sitting around. Of course, I have my signatures. Like I have needles galore, all over.
But the needles are the exact same way. You have favorites for different things. It's just like in Tunisian, for Tunisian, I pretty much only like wood or bamboo.
Yeah.
Of the material. And then it has to have a very, very pointy head. If it doesn't have a pointy head, I don't like it. I don't want to use it.
Yeah.
But I never use wood or bamboo in crochet.
Yeah.
No, ever.
I have those rosewood ones that I use. I like them. I don't use them all the time.
But it's such a stupid thing, right? Like you're like, I don't know. But I don't know. When I teach, I tell people that it really helps if you join like a like a
stitching,
like a stitching group. Because then you can try other people's and you can try them and see if you like them, because I feel like it does, like, before you go and you try to buy everything, like, obviously we've been doing it for so many years, it's ridiculous, so that we just collected them over time.
Yeah.
You have to do like little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit.
Now, I will tell you guys, like, I've been looking at some hooks on Etsy that I really want to try. And if I end up buying them and trying them, I'll let you guys know if I like them. And then if I like them, I'll give you the affiliate link. But they look good. The Ophir hooks, I think, that are coming out now. Ophire. They look like the green hooks that I showed you. So I haven't tried those again because that shape just does not work for me at all.
Yeah, I can know by the shape that I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna like it, so I don't buy it.
Linda wants to know about your sweater shrug. I know that pattern.
Super, super old pattern. I don't remember the name of it. I don't think it's in existence anymore. It wasn't an interweave crochet. What was the one that was like the needlework one where they had like the history of like of needles, and sometimes they'd have knitting in there, sometimes they'd have just anything you could do with needlework and sewing and
handmade? No, homemade? No.
I don't know. It was an interweave thing. It's on Ravelry. If it's still for sale, I don't know.
Yeah, what was that? Now you're gonna, I forget. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember anything anymore. So don't. And it's Kristen's yarn that she doesn't sell anymore. So
yeah,
it's mine.
But you know what? There's a silky yarn on Hirschner's website that I was gonna go and try out. I was like, there's lots of really fun things. Hey, while you guys are all here, if you could smash that like button real quick, that'd be great. While you're here. We were just talking earlier this morning about YouTube and the reach and everything. And I mean, I don't know. I'm doing everything I can to let people know. But the amount of messages I get where people are like, oh, I didn't know you were doing YouTube anymore because I never see your videos. And I'm like, this is episode 13. So for 13 weeks, there has been a video. Some weeks there are two. Threads magazine. That's what it was. It was called Threads by Interweave. Piecework.
It was Piecework.
Piecework. There you go.
That's the one.
There you go. So yeah, smash that like button. If you guys are interested in Tournament of Stitches, I did put the link to the page where it says it's the page for how to choose colors for Colorwork project. And I put together a bunch of different color combos with the Swish yarn and with the Swish DK yarn. You'll note some are 7, some are 9, some are 5. Because I didn't know. I don't know how many colors I'm going to use yet. Like this was 10 that I just showed you. But I wanted you to see, hey, look at how you can have these colors and how they can mix and match, just to give you some ideas. But the most important thing there is to use the form to sign up for the Tournament of Stitches so you can get information. And then just if you want to start peeking, if you want to peek at yarn to kind of be like, ooh, what am I thinking? I would say that the main thing is peek at what you think your main color is going to be. Start with that. Start with, take a peek and just be like, what color do I think I want to be my main color? And just think about that. I cannot give you yarn amounts because I don't know them. Like I could say, go buy 20. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm just giving you a heads up with that. As far as the yarn, we are using Swish worsted for the knit, Swish DK for the crochet, and that's very important. Okay. I know that the two different yarns, they have different colors available. So it's very important. If you're a crocheter, make sure you're looking at the Swish DK colors. You do not want to use Swish worsted, and you cannot substitute just one ball of Swish worsted in one color because you like it so much. It will be noticeable. You do not want to do that. Okay. All right. What is this suggestion?
Oh,
a friend of mine.
If you want the shawl, this is where I went. I went back to see if evidently I sell it.
Oh, you do?
Evidently. If you go to Ravelry, you'll find it.
That's awesome. There you go. Do you want to put a link? Put a link in there for them.
Sure.
A friend of mine is a content creator and has built an incentive each week based upon if he hits a target number, if he likes in each stream. It could be something silly. Okay, I'll think about that.
I like incentives. Who doesn't like incentives?
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's everything I have, guys. That's everything I have. Thank you so much to Hirschner's for supplying us with the yarn and sponsoring this segment. It's been really nice partnering with them. Hopefully we can continue on the partnership with them. They're wonderful. Yeah. Really great company to work with. We like them a lot. Yeah. So make sure you check them out.
What is happening next week, Marley?
Like next week? So next week I'll be at Disney.
Yes, for the podcast.
So
it'll be a little special.
Yes. So I'm supposed to be at Animal Kingdom during the podcast. So my goal was to go live at Animal Kingdom and show you how to make a little animal. That's what I was thinking. That's if I can get Robin to design a little animal. Because if you guys don't know,
if I design a little animal this week, we'll do an animal.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can design an animal that I do not have any problems with.
Even if it's just an animal head and we could turn it into like, you could turn it into like something you hang on your luggage or something, you know?
All of those things are very, very doable. Yeah. It's just the strangest things I've ever heard of. One, you're going to do it live from Animal Kingdom. That sounds crazy. And then 2, you're doing amigurumi.
I know. I mean, what else would you do? It's Animal Kingdom. It makes sense.
Okay.
I'm just going to bring a little ball of yarn, probably 2 colors, maybe, and maybe 3 colors. Like, I mean, that's not, I could shove those in my lounge.
You're just going to need some.
Just a little bit. Don't get carried away, everybody. Don't get carried away. I'll just show little bits of something.
And then you can refilm it because no one will be able to hear you anyway. Because you're going to be an animal.
I know. Hopefully we'll be somewhere where it's not so bad. But yeah, that's my goal is to if that doesn't work, I mean, we'll audible, like we'll figure something out. Yeah. We'll just hang out, we'll just talk, but who knows? Right. But yeah, that's my plan. That was my idea. So I mean, is that what you guys want to do? Oh, somebody's asking about the Onyx Storm. So yes, we want to continue the Onyx Storm. If you don't know, we got sidetracked with really big projects where we couldn't listen to books. So we had to like kind of go on a hiatus, put that one back and then listen off and on to some other books we were listening to as we were working on projects. So my goal, because unless I finish the sweater when I'm in Napa, which chances are good it might, is to work on projects as I'm listening to Onyx Storm with all of you guys. So yeah, the plan is, just a little bit of yarn. Yes, just a little bit of yarn. I'm driving there so I can bring as much home as I want.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize you were driving. I assumed you were flying. So
no, we're going to drive because Alora and I are going to drive. I'm going to take this opportunity to have Alora drive a little bit on the highway.
Oh, good.
So that's the plan right now. I plan on stopping at Lindsay's on the way down. My plan is to stop at Lindsay's on the way down. And then we're staying at the timeshare through Friday. I think Friday is when we're going to head home, Friday or Saturday. Depending when the boys' track meet is and where it is. I have to look it up because we might go directly to their track meet if it's somewhere outside of Indiana. But yeah, we should be good. I mean,
so you're going to get sun for 2 full weeks.
I know. I'm not going to know what to do with myself. No, Napa is supposed to be raining.
Oh,
it's supposed to be raining. So I'm like, awesome. What do you, so yesterday we were talking, I'm going to wear jeans. I have like crop jeans and stuff. It's supposed to be like 50 degrees, 60 degrees.
Okay. So it's going to feel a little chilly.
Yeah. So, not super dressed up about anything, just kind of hanging out, just a nice, good time. That's what I'm hoping for.
Good.
Yeah. With my pretty pinky purple nails.
Pretty pink nails.
They're very pretty. I even took a picture of the nail polish because my red, it's OPI Big Apple red. That's the red I always use.
Yeah.
But this one, I took a picture of it because I was like, I like that. Like that's Marley. That is Marley all the way. All right. No balloon rides. Nope. We put the nix on that one. To this day, he's like, that'd have been cool. Nope.
I would love to. I'd go up in the balloon.
No way. I'd have been cheering from you from the ground. No. No, that is not happening. This is so not happening at all. Not even at all. All right, guys, that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining us today with Mondays with Marley. Don't forget, if you're going to purchase from Hirschner's, use my affiliate code Pretty Please. I did put it in the show notes, and I put it on the live. And then whenever you see Hirschner's recommended anywhere on the website, that's always an affiliate link there, so you can always use that. I appreciate it very much. Until Monday, hopefully from Animal Kingdom. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but it should be a good time. All right. Bye, guys.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.